Hi everyone, it's Kathleen. We are here today with another episode of Stitch Play, and we are going to work on the twisted chain. The twisted chain looks like this on the straight, and it looks like this when it's in the round or around a circle. I like to use this twisted chain stitch for stems, and I varied the width of the stitch. This is a narrower stem and this is a wider stem. I really like how this looks, and then this is it in the round. So let's start by making a stem, and the stem will go quite quickly, and I want my stem to actually, I'm really working quite close. I want it to come up from the Battenberg and go around in an arc up to that one hydrangea on the side. And boy, am I ever really close. We'll have to see if I have to move the camera. So we are coming up at that Battenberg intersection. And when we do the twisted chain, we have to imagine, do I have pins? I'm gonna place my pins down just to give myself an arc to follow. So I'm just placing, I could have done it with thread, I could have just done it ad lib, but I am using pins as a guide. Yeah, that'll work really nice. It'll help me to sew. So that's how I am. Let's see if I can. I'm using this. Maybe I'll just leave it like that. Maybe that'll help. We're going to start like this. And, oh geez, I still haven't gotten my right way of holding this camera or my iPhone. Okay, let's start here. We are working on the twisted chain stitch. You have to imagine two lines, a left line and a right line. So I am going to keep my thread up, and I'm going to go a 1/4 of an inch away. That's going to be my two lines. Let's just maybe move this a little bit. Okay, so we take it to the right of where we came out, and we are going to work about every 1/4 of an inch going up. So let's wrap the thread over and around, so over and under the needle, and you hold it with your thumb and pull. All right, I like how that looks. And we are going to, that's where our one line will be. And let's go. So it's going to be at the same, if we stick with the 1/4 inch, these will be a 1/4 of an inch. They're the same distance. So let's tuck it in here. And so this stitch length, this bite, should be the same all the way up. Unless you want to alter it, I guess, but I want to keep it the same. Twisted, we go over and under the needle, hold and pull. You take a bite, move the thread over and under the needle, and pull. Bite over and around the needle and pull. So it's turning out nice. And so we take the same amount of bites, or the same type of bite, so you have even stitches. Take a bite and we go over and around the needle, hold that pin. Take a bite over and around the needle. Hold and pull. Take a bite over and around the needle. Hold and pull. And you see our stitches, hopefully, that's one thing that I always have to practice is my stitch widths. Even after all these years of stitching, I still don't, they're still uneven. Over and around the needle and pull. That's why I like to practice. Am I off screen? Probably. Okay, let's move it in here. Sorry about that. Okay. Take a bite. Your thread goes over and around your needle. Hold and pull. Take a bite. Over and around the needle. Hold and pull. Take a bite. Over and around the needle. Hold and pull. Taking my pin out. And I take a bite. Over and around. Hold and pull. Take a bite. Over and around. Hold and pull. So I like how that's looking. And when we put other stitches all over this will be a totally encrusted piece. It'll look really nice. When I say encrusted, I mean totally covered with stitches. Take a bite. Over and around. And pull. It's easier to do this stitch in the straight rather than in the round. So that's why we're practicing it in the straight first. So there's, take a bite, over and around, and I say this for myself, and pull. And yes, when I'm alone, yes, I do say this. So we take, and I always like to, I work on wool and I like how it feels, how it moves. Some people like to work in a hoop. It's a matter of preference. If you like to work in a hoop, go ahead. This is just how I like to work. Take a bite, over and around, and pull. Quite windy outside in my yard today. Things have been flying away, so hopefully we can continue out here. I love the sound of the water and the birds chirping. Take a bite, over and around, hold and pull. Take a bite, over and around, hold and pull. So let's see how that looks. That's a nice meandering line, and we want it to go up to that hydrangea. My thread is really twisted, so I'm just, oh, for crying out loud. Sorry. Okay. We have taking a bite, over and around, and pull. This will look really different on the hydrangea. I'm anxious to get that done. Over and around, and pull. This twisted chain stitch will look different if you do the stitches, if your bite is smaller and if your distance is closer together. This one's a little closer. I'm just going to keep mine the same. And over and around, and pull. Take a bite, over and around, and pull. And I have to aim. I'm aiming for this spot here, so I have to have a line where my stem is going. Take this bite, over and around, and pull. Bite, over and around, and pull. There's so many stitches based on the chain stitch and just how you move the needle and twist the thread around the needle. Take a bite, over and around, and pull. Okay. And I could have done this over a ribbon, over some loose wool. There's lots of different things we could do and still do to it, actually. Let's take another bite, over and around, and pull. So that's why I like doing these samplers. We can experiment with the stitches and with the threads we use. Take a bite, over and around, and pull. Now where am I going? I have to arc this. Take a bite, over and around, and pull. And I really have to start arcing this now. So we're going to take a bite. We're going to go closer. We're going to move over. Take a bite, over and around, and pull. Thread is really knotted. Take a bite, over and around, and pull. I'm running out of thread. Hopefully I can make it to the top there. So let's go. Take a bite, over and around, and pull. Take a bite, over and around. It's a little awkward holding it this way with the camera in front of me. I like my hand usually this way. Okay, and I have to take this stem up this way. Take a bite, over and around, and pull. Oh, please, Lord, let me get up to the hydrangea. Over and around, and pull. Take a bite, over, around, and pull. Oh, can we do it? We might have to improvise. Let's go. Take a bite, over, and around, and pull. And I don't have room for another. I don't have any more thread, so let's stick this thread. Our next stitch would be here. So let's just anchor it. Oh. Nope, that's not where I want to anchor it. I want to anchor the top. Well, just a moment. Let's see if it stays. I'm going to leave it. In my last sampler that I did, I anchored it at the top, just like a chain stitch is, but this one I anchored it at the where my needle would move next. So I'm going to leave it there and tie this off, and we'll get more thread and we'll start on the hydrangea. So this is done. Whoops. Shoot, I didn't tie my knot very well because the camera's in the way. Cut that off, and let's get some more of this thread. Okay, where's my scissors? We are going to go around the outside petals of this hydrangea here. Let me thread my needle. Oh shoot. This crochet thread is really thick. Even when I try to make the thread flat, it still has a hard time going in. So I'm going to knot the end. It's probably about a size 3 of crochet cotton, so it's really quite thick. So where do I want to start? I'm going to start where I started over here, because I know that this leaf, I'm going to put this leaf over top, so I am going to start, I'm going to start over here. Am I in frame? Okay, let's start on the hydrangea. I'm going to go all the way around here with the twisted chain stitch. So I'm going to pull, and you can see how this fabric of the silk flower is starting to fray already. So I want to take my needle just to the left. I said a wrong thing. I take it to the right, just on the outside, and I want my stitches to be, that's going to be really narrow. That's okay. I'm going to make them that far apart, hopefully all the way. So let's see, around the needle, over and around, hold and pull. So it's the same process. It's just a matter of where we put our needle in the round. So that's pulled tight, and if that is about 1/4 of an inch, I'm just going to have to eyeball this. Hopefully it'll turn out right. And it's just a matter of practicing. I think that's going to be too far. It's a matter of practicing, and that's why I did that other circle. Over and around the needle and pull. So it's how big of a bite you take. So just on the outside of the circle. Take a bite. I'm going to go over and around the needle, hold and pull. And so I just have to always keep an eye on the width of my stitch length, I guess it is. I have a problem keeping my stitch length the same width, even after all these years. Don't know why, but I do. Okay, and I want to keep the stitch length of the top ones the same. So we'll see how this is going to work. And pull. I'm anxious to see what the hydrangea is going to look like. And when I place my needle, it's important for me to place it, like this is called stabbing the thread, rather than, and then I can move it to go up on the inside of, underneath, I mean. Over and around your needle and pull. This will take practice. This stitch is, I'm going to say, easier. In the round is a little bit more difficult. So when I do a stitch, I like to see what it looks like in a stem stitch and also in a flower or in a round in the circle. Okay, take a bite over and around and pull. That one might have been pulled too much. Take a and I'm eyeballing it, and this is what I have to practice, is my stitch length. Over and around the needle and pull. Okay, and over and around the needle and pull. closer. And I see this one. Okay, when I sewed on this hydrangea, I wanted a part of the leaf to be over top of the hydrangea and part of it tucked in. This is the loose petal, so I want the leaf tucked in here. So I have to be mindful of that as I work around it. Over and around the needle and pull. Over and around the needle and pull. And I have to make sure this is lying down, laying flat. Taking a little bite, go over and around the needle and, oh, that's tough with these silk flowers. And pull. Take a bite, go over and around and pull. This one almost looks like a pansy, the way I have that petal cut, or the way that it is cut. Take a bite, over and under the needle, so over and around, and pull. Take a bite. Oops. Let's go a little closer. Over and around. Hold and pull. And this might, let's see, should I just end it? Yes, I'm going to just end it here. And my next stitch would go down here, so I'm just going to put it down where it would go and pull it a little bit snug. I'm going to end it off in the back with a knot. Uh-oh, what do I have here? My thread is getting wrapped around those pins. I've been getting all sort tangled up this morning. My goodness. Very windy out here in the yard. Okay, let's see what we have. So up. Whoa, you can see I'm on a lamp here. Okay, so this is, can I let go? Yeah. This is what I have. And do I want to continue with that around here? Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'm going to continue off camera just to continue. So I showed you how to do the stitch, and I'm just going to think on how I want to do this one flower. So I did a stem in the twisted chain. I did the outer part of the hydrangea. I'm also going to think how I'm going to do the leaves. I want to do one in the chain stitch and one in the twisted chain. So we're going to see how that works. So off I go and practice more off camera. Bye for now.